Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at one of these very special figures from this new Takara Tomy exclusive. This is the Nemesis at the Bridge, or the dramatic capture series. Damn, I can't. Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be focusing on Megatron, and Megatron only for this particular video from the exclusive Takara Tomy dramatic capture series Nemesis Bridge. But before we get a look at the figure, I want to show you this awesome packaging and the beautiful artwork. So this is the figures that are in the box. We will be looking at them all individually. This is the outer sleeve. So on the one side you've got that lovely picture, and then on the other side there are the figures. So yes, we've seen these figures before. These are just Takara Tomy decoed, so I'm going to show you the differences between them and the original ones, and of course give you a full review on the figures in question. So that is the outer sleeve. The inner box actually looks pretty much just like a Generation Selects box. You can make out the Nemesis there and the Decepticon logo in the background. There's the Takara Tomy logo, and what I'm going to do now is put the camera on the stand and then we can have a proper look at the figure. So here he is out of the packaging then, and only words I can think of is, again, simply stunning. Now I know we've had an absolute abundance of usage from this particular mold, but they still managed to, you know, give us a version which I think is different enough to perhaps warrant another purchase. Or if you've only got one or maybe two of these, then yeah, definitely worth the purchase. Very quickly I'm going to bring in the Siege. Now I know they've slightly retooled these over the years, etc., to give us a few differences, sometimes in the head sculpt, sometimes in the chest, etc., but this was basically the first use of the particular mold. Let me get these two standing together, and you know, there's no real comparison. The silver on the Takara one is fantastic. We've got this additional weapon here. The Takara one for this does have one as well, but again it is slightly different. So you can see, you know, that there is, as I say, quite a few differences between these. I've got the other Netflix ones as well, just to show you and give you some comparison details, but it is basically the same mold. In fact, I dread to think how many times they have reused this mold with Megatrons. So what we've got, this is their equivalent, which is great. It doubles up obviously the front of the tank, but we've also got this bit of attachment which goes on the back as well. But with regards to this particular mode, what you can do is you can attach this to there like so, and then of course you can then carry this around as well, like a staff, like a spear, like a trident. I'm not too sure what to call it, but it can of course be any of them, and it still looks great. I've just knocked that off. I want to try and get across, to be honest, just how shiny the silver on this is. You can probably see it all reflecting. Now don't get me wrong, it's not chrome, so it's not like, you know, the original G1 Megatron with the actual real chrome, but this is great. It really is. You probably noticed that I've uploaded the transformation process video already, so hopefully you've seen just again how shiny it is. So for those of you who don't own this mold or who haven't seen it, you know, you could have just started collecting Transformers now, and this could be your first sight of the particular mold. It is great. It is very articulate. The head sculpt itself is beautiful, brilliant looking. It will spin, look up and down. It's a bit tight, but it will go around. It's brand new, so it's very tight, which you can see. These shoulders will go out to give you the full T. They will go all the way around. You can just about miss the backpack. You've got a swivel at the bicep. You've got bicep flexion. The wrists unfortunately do not swivel, and yes, there is a hole in the forearm where the fists do fold out. That is quite it can be quite frustrating, but my get out of jail with all of them is that it's not that visible from the front. Unfortunately there's no ab crunch, but there is waist swivel. You can even spin the backpack around as well if you separate the shoulders, but that's more for the tongue, for the turret in the tank mode. The legs will go splits to the side and they will go splits to the front. There's a swivel on the thigh, there's a knee bend, there's a huge bit of ankle tilting, rocking, etc. As I say, it's a Voyager class scale figure, and it's articulate, and it does look really good. Just to remind you once again as well, it is Blastport compatible, which of course it is. And I think especially with figures like this, you know, with giant perhaps fusion cannons, that one you can push in they are useful and they do look good with that. I've chose a blast effect, which of course is too long and doesn't fit, but there's a number of different things that you can do with these. It looks really good. The detail on the chest is very cartoon accurate. Around the back, I think everything's covered up and tucked away quite neatly. It is just a shame about the forearms. The calves are covered up. Everything else is this now is pretty much a gap-free figure. This is the instructions that come with it. But it is, of course, for all of the figures in question. So if you want to pop him on the throne, I'm going to put all of the figures on the throne as I do all the individual reviews, because they could all, of course, sit on it if they wanted to. And I think that's probably one of the best ideas about it. So as you can see, Megatron pretty much sits very, very well inside there, looking great. It is the same throne that they've used before, so you can, of course, attach accessories and different things into the back of it if you so wanted to. So yeah, for example, if you wanted to, you could store his huge, I don't even know what to call it, a sword, a trident, a staff. To be fair, that makes his throne look even better, I think. Right, let's stand him up and let's bring in a couple of other of the Megatrons that have used this mold. So these, I suppose, a bit like this, because this Takara one is what I'm going to maybe state something that's obvious or not. I'd class it sort of as a special edition, because it's not, of course, A by itself or B in a main release. This used to be my favorite. This is the Netflix Kingdom version of him with all of the accessories, and then this is the Netflix Earthrise version of him. Both, again, really good, but you can just see how much the silver on this one is popping. It really is. It's great. It is a good homage to the original G1 with the fact that it is all chrome. So what I think I'm going to do, but again, slight differences, especially in the head sculpt to these. I need to bring in the G1, even though it's a completely different mold, just so you can see what I mean. So as I've said, he is obviously a different mold, but hopefully you can get what I mean with the fact of all the reflective silver. And also, again, just to show you that the Siege mold of Megatron is definitely one of the best versions of Megatron that we've had. It's hands down better than the Prime Wars trilogy version. It truly is a very good looking Megatron, but that is definitely all there is to say about him in his robot mode. Let's come back and have a look at him in his new shiny tank mode. Righty then, here he is in his stunning looking alternate mode, and again you can see huge differences in this between some of the War for Cybertron uses of this mold. So for a start, obviously all the tank treads join up, so this is more like his G2 color scheme deco, but apart from that, obviously you can just tell loads of difference. Look at this detail there on the side. The tank turret is brilliant. Again, it is of course blast effect compatible, so you can put all these at the front, and because this is so big at the back, you can push this in and it sort of rests there as well. So that's, although I don't think it plugs in officially, it rests in there no problem. The turret of course can spin around, which is great. It'll spin around. You can raise it ever so slightly, but not too much, and that is due to the fact that of course all of this is a huge weapon. You've got all these wheels underneath, and you've still got the visible head, unfortunately, which is the same in every single use of the mold. However, if I do bring in some of the other War for Cybertron trilogies, you can see huge differences in all of it, to be honest. Let's see if I can just bring and angle this up right for you. Maybe if I turn them that way. So of course they're the same sort of height. Color scheme is obviously massively different, as I've already pointed out. The fact that we've got the treads all joining up, that's a little bit better. You can see that there. And of course the cannon scheme's totally different, with the fact that we haven't got the bits folded round through the back, which have come underneath there. This is just clipped straight on. Pretty much the back is exactly the same, apart from we've got this additional bit, that's on the squiff, added on, which again makes it look a little bit more complete as a full tank. And again, it's going for an earth mode tank, so I think it definitely does do that. I say the extra bits of detail on it tend to just work, and again overall it's a nice I'm not going to say surprise, but it's, for me, as I say, it's more than different enough than the other versions that we've got. So although we are building up quite a lot of these Megatrons, I'm sure you'll agree this one does look great. There's nothing more to say about this guy at the moment. Keep your eye out for the rest of the box set individual reviews. Then we'll do a very quick bring them all together like we did with the Autobot 5-pack, and then do some more comparisons and direct comparisons videos as well. In the meantime though, guys, let me know what you think of this Megatron in the comments, and of course, take care.